Hey everyone, John Adolfi here with the Lost World Museum. We are currently at the Creation Evidence Museum in Glen Rose, Texas. And we're excited to be here. Really look forward to showing you around, showing you some artifacts that are absolutely unbelievable. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing over the next few minutes. And there we have it. So, all right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you around. Let me first show you my wife, Kristen. She's here. She's just hanging out here. And there's Kristen. Here's the lecture room right here, but I'm going to just show you some hey, Walter. I'm going to show you some very cool artifacts. And I'm going to turn the camera around now so that you can see it. Okay, so let me do that next. All right, here we are. This is the Delk print. The Delk print is an Acrocanthosaurus print, approximately 16 inches long. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? And the reason why it's kind of purplish is because we've got LED lights in there, but normally it's kind of a yellowish white. And right there is a human footprint in stone. Interesting. The Delk print was found in Glen Rose, Texas, as a lot of these you'll see have been found. This seems to just be a fantastic place to find dinosaur prints. Human prints have been found historically for over 50, 60, 70 years. This is an example of one of them. What's the problem? People ask that. I don't understand. What's the big deal? The big deal is this. This is Cretaceous limestone. Geologists have already assigned an age, I'm talking about evolutionary geologists, of 70 to 120 million years, okay? Now, if we just had this dinosaur print in here, we'd say, okay, well, very good. You know, this doesn't really say anything one way or the other as far as the geological evidence and the geological dates assigned for this rock. We know that dinosaurs lived up until around 66 million years ago, so that's perfectly plausible that there's a dinosaur print here. But when you add to that a human footprint, what looks like a human footprint, and that's about 10 inches. Let me show you. My wingspan on my hand is about 9, so about 10 and a half inches. And notice that the footprint was laid first. And notice that the dinosaur print then impinged, pushed the mud of the edge of the foot inward. Some say, oh, this looks fake. Well, they've done spiral CAT scans on this, and we're going to be showing those at some future point that shows that this compression is there underneath. It has not been carved. And that's one of the ways that they determine whether or not a print is true or false. Some prints have been carved and they have been faked. But if you really just don't want to hold on to a theory and looking for evidence to prove the theory, needlessly that is, okay? Holding on to things that are fake, you have them tested. And that's exactly what they did. Let me show you another footprint in limestone. It's a wacky looking print because it's so wide and the toes look so weird there and everything, you know. But this is called the Burdock print. We're going to be doing an entire long form video on this very soon. We shot it while we were down here. Let me tell you what we did. They allowed us to do. You see these sections right here, which I'll explain in just a second why they are. But we were able to disassemble this and look in between these sections. Each of the sections was taken apart. Now, the reason why we have these sections here is because they want to see whether there's any lamination or compression marks underneath the print. You can't fake compression marks underneath the print. What does that mean? That means that when you step on something, this is what happens to the mud. It squishes, it compresses. And when you cut it and look on the side here, you can tell whether or not there's any compression marks. If it's been carved, there is no compression marks because you can't fake those. Well, I'll show you in our video a little bit better than this, but this is pretty good too. The compression marks are right, right there. So here's the top part of the fossil. You're looking at a cross section of it, okay? And we're gonna, again, in our video, we'll show that a little bit more clearer, but there is lamination or compression in this funky looking fossil or human track in limestone. Again, assigned an age by geologists to be 70 to 140 million years old, and here in the Glen Rose area, 100 to 108 million years old. Humans can't be that old. So the timetables must be off. Or are they? That's the question. From a biblical standpoint or from a creationist standpoint, this rock right here was formed 4,500 years ago during the worldwide flood. Limestone was created during the worldwide flood, where we had extraordinary geological processes going on very rapidly, and people were running for the hills. Were there just humans or dinosaurs? Come with me for a second. I'm going to bring you around the other side. I'm going to show you this paw print. This is also in Cretaceous limestone. This is a giant American lion, about 5 to 6 feet at the shoulder, and this is also in Cretaceous limestone found in the same area. You want to see another one? I'll show you another one. Here's a human footprint. Approximately 9+ inches, and it is in limestone, friends, Cretaceous limestone. Now, just so that we can show you what does a fake print look like when it's carved, here you go. This right here has been carved. It is fake. It looks like it could try to pass as a real print, but we know it's faked. You do a spiral CAT scan, you'll know that in a second. Let me show you a print that they did a spiral CAT scan on. They didn't cut it open. This one's a whopper. 16-inch footprint. 16-inch footprint. Let me just... It's huge. And that they did a spiral CAT scan on it to see, again, how it's behaving, so to speak, underneath those toes and that the ball of the foot, and what does it look like underneath it. And they're finding that these are genuine, okay? Now, if you don't believe it, that's fine. You can read the critics, they're there out there, or you could come down to the museum in Glen Rose, Texas and see for yourself. That would be the smartest thing to do, in the sense that you give it a fair hearing and see it for yourself, and then ask to have someone who knows a little bit about it explain, and maybe you have some objections and questions you'd like to have answered. All right, that's what we have, and this is where we're going to end it, but not before. Kristen, could you get that clipboard right there and just hold that up there? I'm going to give you an opportunity to be able to get on our newsletter, because we're going to be taking, this is my wife, Kristen. MuseumAlerts.com is where you can get a free Noah's Ark report called 3 Reasons Why, Top Reasons Why Noah's Ark Must Still Exist, and get on our newsletter. And there's our text number right there. If you want to be alerted to every time we put out a piece of content, which is about once every other day, we'll text you the link to that content, and there you have it. All right. Thank you, honey. All right, I'm John Adolfi with the Lost World Museum. We thank you for coming and joining us today, and we look forward to serving you further with more exciting videos like this. Apes, aliens, or Adam, which did we come from? We'll see you in our next video.